Okay, so how do you feel about getting your parents' approval when you're dating someone?
For me, it's really important because I'm really close with my parents.
Yeah.
So to me, it's pretty important. Like, if they didn't give their approval, I'd probably still date them, but I would definitely be hesitating.
I feel like it'd be really hard for me to be with someone who my family didn't like.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have to be around them eventually, so.
Exactly, and then just because when it actually comes to like getting married and all that, like they're gonna be a big part of your life. Even like when you have kids, grandparents are around and stuff. So it's like if your husband and the grandparents of your kids can't get along, like that's what I'm thinking of like down the line.
Yeah, that'll be annoying. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's so many people who like don't even tell their parents that they're dating. Then I'm like, how do you even know if your parents are gonna like them or not? Like I
feel like it's okay to not tell your parents who you're dating if it's like the early stages or you know it's not really a serious relationship, but I think once you two both establish like it's gonna be a long-term serious relationship, I feel like then you should tell the parents. But like early stages, like who cares,
right? But weren't they saying there's like a phenomenon that if your parents don't like your boyfriend, you're more likely to
like you like them more kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like being in like rebellious stage, like so you don't like them, so it's gonna like make me want them even more now.
It's kind of like the forbidden love, like the Romeo and Juliet effect.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it logically, you're like, why would that make you like them more? But maybe it's like almost like now it's like a fight. Now you're gonna like fight for them.
I think it's the excitement. I feel like when you first like someone, you have those like emotions, very passionate, you're very excited, like maybe even nervous, and I think like all that adrenaline comes with the forbidden love as well. So I feel like when you like really like someone and you can't see them, it's like a lot of adrenaline, a lot of emotions, which makes it exciting, which means that you think you like them more, but then you don't.
Oh yeah, actually maybe it's like the chase.
It's the chase, yeah.
Yeah, because now you really have to like fight for it. That's actually crazy.
Yeah,
I can see that. Like I can think of people that I know who like maybe they like their parents didn't approve and that maybe that wanted them like more.
Cause I'm thinking about it, it's like more arousal because you know like. I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently, like, when you watch a scary movie with a guy, like, you can mistake your fear for you being, like...
Into them.
So I think it's, like, the same thing.
But I think in general, like, I think we learned that, like, having your family and friends' approval of your partner will make you happier, like, long term.
Yeah, and then also, like, even if you don't have your parents' approval, if you're, like, posting on social media and people are like, oh my god, goals, like, you guys are so cute, like, then your parents' opinion is not going to matter as much for a lot of people.
And also, I think it depends, like, on your your relationship with your parents. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents, like their approval is probably not going to mean as much to you.
Yeah.
Whereas if you value your parents a lot and you're really close with them, I think their disapproval could be something that would make you break up with them.
Yeah.
And I feel like what else? Because it doesn't depend on it. Probably.
It's very. I think most of the time with the parents' disapproval, I think a lot of times those are in like interracial relationships or like cultural differences.
I was gonna say
because just like in terms of there's so many things that go into culture. It's like things as simple as just greetings or like. How you dress,
values,
yeah. So like that could cause a lot of problems.
There's a lot of people I know who like have disapproval because their partner's not the same religion.
That too.
Or their partner's not the same race, even the same like sect of religion. Mm-hmm. Like Muslim, like the type of Muslim, they're not the same. And I'm like, this is like so. It's crazy to think like something so specific is like what's making your parents disapprove. But like I get it. Those things are like probably important to
your parents are thinking like who are we bringing into our family, right? Like they want someone that's gonna, I guess, like respect, and also they want someone who's gonna fit in. I think like parents, especially like the generation of parents now, I think are very used to like tradition and like things a certain way. So I think when they find something different, it's like it kind of scares them. And they're like,
I mean, I get it. Like I think there is some truth to like if you're with someone different than you or like that it can be harder, but I also don't think it's as hard as they think in this day.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think they think it's harder than it is.
Yeah, but I can see like they have a point. Okay, but do you think like our parents, like when they disapprove, if your parents disapprove of a guy, like would you give that some value? Like, would you say like you know?
I think my parents have good judgment.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I personally think my parents have good judgment, and although like they don't know me like my friends know me, they still know me, and I think they can see things that I don't see. Like I think. Yeah, like, us growing up, we're like, oh, our parents don't know anything, like, fuck their opinion, like, we don't know, but, like, I think they do, they've lived life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, parents have experience that you don't have.
Especially in a relationship.
Especially in a relationship, and especially if your parent, like,
Like years
literally of experience that you don't have. So I think it's important to value your parents' opinion. Like I do.
I'm not gonna say like parents are always right. Not gonna, like, some people say, you know, don't marry outside your religion, where I don't think that should be a problem. Yeah. But I will say, like, up until recently, I never thought that my parents knew, like, better than me, or like their, like, if they saw me in a relationship, like, their opinion would like be good. But now I'm actually, like, you know, that you have to value that if they're disapproving, like, there could be something. There could be some truth, but I'm not saying, like, take it with a grain of salt.
Because if you think about it, your parents know more about relationships than your friends.
And I feel like they also know you best. Obviously, this depends on your relationship with
them. But they've seen you from, like, literally birth to now. Like, they've seen your personality develop. They've seen...
But there are cases where people aren't close to their parents.
That's what I'm saying. So in that
case... then I'm thinking, like, you know, you can't always be like, my parents knows best, because maybe they actually don't.
Yeah. Or sometimes your parents, like, want something for you that you don't want for yourself. Like, they have an image of what they want for you, but it's like, you might not like that.
I hear stories though, like I remember I talked to this guy and he told me his parents' story, and his parents, like, they weren't allowing them to get married, and the mom, like, they were trying to set his mom up with a different guy, like a family friend, and then they eloped. And they did this, like, in India where, like, this is not a thing. Like, they went to a courthouse, they just eloped and, like, kind of ran away-ish. I don't really know, like, what happened, but they ran away. But then now they're, like, they're still married, happily married, and their families came around.
See, like, sometimes you just gotta, I think at the end of the day, go with your gut. But also consider
your family, but then I'm like, I'm always torn, because I'm like, wow, like, look at these cases.
Yeah, but I think, like, if your gut's telling you yes and your parents are telling you no, like, I think go with your gut.
Yeah.
I've had, actually, let me not share my personal.
No, say it.
I was like, should I say it?
Don't say a name.
Yeah, my parents, like, have expressed their disapproval before, but not in the most obvious way. I think my parents are kind of passive, so, like, they kind of, like, hint, like, okay, like, you know, do you really think this is going to be a long-term relationship with this guy? Like, they were kind of, they gave me more space. That's I would say. Like, they didn't tell me, I don't like this person, like, I don't think you should be with this person. They kind of just made me think about it. So I think that's a better way to do it, because it gives your child more just freedom to think about whether they like the relationship or not. So I think that was a good way of doing it.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think I'm probably one of the only, like, brown girls whose, like, parents are this chill. It's, like, not normal. Like, my parents would totally be like, yeah, like, let me meet the person. Doesn't matter their race, doesn't matter their religion. Like, they would, like, love to meet them, and they would always, like, they're allowed to come to my house. Like, I never had, like, any of these issues. And they would never say to my face, like, we don't like this person. Like, they're just not the type. Whereas I feel like...
Did they even, like, hint at it?
No, they would hint. Like, my dad, I've been in long-term relationships where my dad has hinted things like,
my dad is actually the more, like, I think my dad cares more than my mom. Or, like, I think he worries more than my mom. Yeah. That's what it is. Because my dad would, like, ask me a lot of questions.
Really?
Yeah, he'll be like, what does he do? Like, when did you guys meet? Where did it, like, he just ask questions. My mom would just be like, are you, like, having fun? Like, I don't know. Having fun? Yeah, like, I think my dad really, like, gets down to it. My mom just kind of, like, tiptoes, but she's still...
My mom doesn't say anything. She just says, like, trust your gut. I don't know. Like, they would never tell me, like, break up with this person, you're not allowed to.
So that's what I'm saying. I think that's better, because they're allowing you to make a decision for yourself.
Because then if I feel like they forced me, like, what if I blame them later? Exactly. Being like, wow, you forced me and I, like, really wanted to be with this person. So yeah, I get that.